Mandalorian, chapter 19. What was this one called? Was this called Covert or Convert? I'm guessing it was called Convert because of what happened in this, but we're going to get straight into this because I really had a lot of fun watching this again. I must say straight off that Mandalorian, I didn't realise how much I missed it from when it was on season 2, but now it's back. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, it makes you wonder if we had a Mando movie back in the day, but I'm probably enjoying the TV show a lot more. This episode was about 58 minutes long. It throws me off a little bit when I turn on the episodes and they're all different times. Like one's 30 minutes and then one's 48 minutes. But not complaining. I really enjoyed it. You know, I love the continuity of going from one show to another and not really skipping too much and time jumping. So this episode did kick off from the living waters of Mandalore. We saw in the last episode that he had gone to bathe in the living waters of Mandalore so he could become a Mandalorian again, because that's what he needed to do. He was an apostate, and now he's not. So yeah, we kick off from there. On the way back to Calvella, which is it's Earth, but anyway, on the way back there, they encounter some. I don't know what they are, to be fair. They look like some warlords. I think they're Imperial warlords. You know, try and take them out and stuff like that. But they're on the way to go to see the armorer, because that's the person who will grant Mandalore his status back as such. So that's where the show kicks off. And then once we get them see them going to that place, it ends from there. That's only 5 minutes into the show, and the next 45 minutes of the show is all based around something completely different. So I think we go to the city of Coruscant, which is like a planet city. The whole city's like flipping, looks like Singapore. It looks amazing, but there's not much nature there. It's just like one peak of a mountain. The rest of it's all like built up, but it looks beautiful. I have to say the visual effects on the city were incredible. I was watching it and I was like, this is like Wakanda levels of CGI here. It looks so dope. The colours were great, very immersive. We follow these two characters. There's a few characters in this, but what happens is we kick off with this doctor, Dr. Penn Pershing. He's giving a seminar on what he was a scientist at and his breakthrough research in cloning. But he used to work for the Empire, and a lot of these people in this used to work for the Empire. They're part of the new rebellion now, and they're all converts. So I think that's why it's probably called converts. They've all changed. They've been given a second chance, and obviously they used to work for the dark side in it. So he's giving that, and he's basically saying about how great the research was and what it can do, and you can clone off like a single strand of DNA. But his research is kind of just there. They talk about it, and it becomes almost like everyone's very excited to speak to him and stuff like that. But he still feels worthless in what he does now, because that's not his job anymore. He's still got the same name, but he's not seen as a scientist or a doctor, part of the new rebellion. He just has a regular job where I think he just codes old Imperial waste and then gets rid of it. I think that's all his job is now. So you can see throughout this episode that he's feeling more and more worthless, and he misses the status of what he had working for the Empire. Not working for the Empire as such, but the status he had because he was seen as something great and courageous. He was a doctor with breakthrough research and stuff, and his research obviously went on to do bad things, but they thought they were doing the right thing at the time. So we get him, and we get this lady, Elia Kane, who she's with him for most of the show. She's also used to work for the Empire as a communications officer, and she's basically trying to persuade him, like, listen, that research can still be important to the new rebellion, although they don't want anything to do with the Imperial stuff, but help them out anyway. So we go on a quest for them to find the lab, but the lab is in old Imperial ships and stuff like that, so they have to sneak over there to the waste yard. And what we see once he gets there is that she set him up, and she actually already works for the new rebellion as a amnesty officer. And she's lied to him, and she's made it seem like he's gone out of his way to want to do these things, even though she persuaded him. And then they put this mind thing on him to, I think it's to wipe his memory and get him more accustomed to what they're doing at the moment. But it's very weird what happened there. I actually felt bad for the doctor, because all he wanted to do was help people. She did seem remorseful, because some part in it she was she was saying that can she stay around because she still sees him as a friend and stuff. But it was very it's very telling. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode with that character. But they followed them through the whole thing, and I thought it was going to be boring because I was waiting to see more of Grogu and Mandalorian and Bo-Katan, and then I was like, oh, this is actually quite fun. You're getting to see what happens to people who were part of the Empire and are no longer there. What happened to them next? So I didn't mind them following that. There's a lot of detail. So we leave that there with them because obviously they get arrested, but then she turns and then takes the research off him. So I don't know what she's gonna do with the equipment, what they were stealing. But in fact, yeah, I do know she wouldn't do anything with it. It was a setup. The whole thing was. And I think it's a regular thing that they must do that. I don't think it's because he's a doctor. I think it's just what they probably see it as he's dangerous with the knowledge he has. So any kind of connection to the Empire wanting to do the same kind of research, they don't want it. And then from there we go back to the Mandalorian and Grogu and Bo-Katan. And this is for the last 10 minutes of the show. And they reach the Armorer where, you know, that coverted place where all the rest of the Mandos are hiding out. And he goes and they explain that we reached the living waters of the Mandalore. And she has proof because Bo-Katan's a witness, gives her the water, and then he's reinstated as that. But because Bo-Katan also bathed in those living waters, they basically say to her that, like, yo, you're one of us now. And now she's not a night owl anymore, she's one of the Mandos. And it's weird because they've got no expressions on their face, but you can still take an expression from them movie. It's weird. Anyone who watches Mandalorian or anything to do with Star Wars, I swear you guys know what I'm on about. The stormtroopers, the Mandalorian, like they pull off an expression on their face without their face. That's hard to explain. But yeah, that's where we left it. So she's now one of them. It's going to be exciting to see what happens next. I can't wait. So yeah, bring on next Wednesday, man. I've been your boy. Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.